The movie begins with a scene of an injured girl on an unknown island. On the other side, we are introduced to the main character, Madison. She is a social media star and vlogger. Lately, she has been posting videos of new places. Now, she has come to Thailand because her fans demanded it. This trip was planned by her friend, John, as they wanted to spend some time together. However, due to other work commitments, John tells her that he'll be a little late. So, Madison starts exploring the places on her own. Later, she goes to the beach and takes photos. She is staying at a hotel in Thailand. The next morning, while shooting a video about a product, Madison feels unmotivated to work. Feeling lonely, she messages John, asking him to come soon. John replies, saying he is trying his best to come quickly. 2 days later, while Madison is at a bar, an old man approaches her. He tries to lure her with money and asks her to come with him. Madison feels very uncomfortable and tells him to leave. But the old man behaves stubbornly. At that moment, the next character of the story, CW, arrives. CW lives there and knows a lot about the place. She confronts the old man and makes him leave. Madison is impressed by this and they start talking. CW warns Madison that there are many people like him around, so she should be careful. Madison then explains that John canceled his plans at the last minute, which is why she's traveling alone. She also shares that people think a vlogger's life is glamorous, but in reality, it involves a lot of hard work. We then learn that CW is a guide who takes visitors to different, lesser-known places. Since they have now become good friends, CW asks Madison if she would like to travel with her as a friend rather than as a customer. CW knows about many places where no one has been before. Madison agrees, and they begin exploring various locations on CW's bike. Madison captures great vlogs during their visits. Later, they go to a club and have food. After a whole day of traveling, Madison returns to her hotel, feeling tired but very happy because her vlogs are getting a lot of views. However, when she enters her room, all that happiness turns into sadness. She finds the door open, and to her shock, all her belongings, including her passport, have been stolen. Madison feels very upset and tells CW about the robbery. CW files a complaint and gives Madison a form. By filing this complaint, Madison can get a new passport, but it will take 2 weeks. She can't stay there for that long because she has a brand video shoot scheduled in America. However, she has no other choice. That night, she talks to John about it, but he seems more worried about the money than about her situation. This makes Madison start crying because he never even asked how she was doing. He was only concerned about the money. Feeling angry and hurt, she breaks off the relationship and ends the call. Now, Madison has to stay there for a few more days. Feeling helpless, she decides to travel with CW until her passport arrives. During this time, she uploads many videos and photos, gaining a lot of views. Madison asks CW to take photos with her, but CW keeps refusing every time. Madison finds it a bit strange, but then assumes it might be because of the scar on CW's face and ignores it. One day, CW takes Madison to her house to take some photos. CW's house is near the seashore and is very beautiful. There, CW suggests they visit an island the next day, which is not far from there and is said to be very beautiful. Only a few people have visited that island. Madison thinks that no one has ever gone there before, which would bring a lot of views to her vlogs. So, without any hesitation, she agrees. Before sunrise, CW takes Madison on her boat, and they head to the island. This decision is about to become the worst one of Madison's life. So far, everything seems perfect, but now the real twist begins. After a few hours of travel, they reach the island. There, Madison notices a tree trunk with 7 lines drawn on it. She wonders why someone would do that. Maybe they were counting their last days? She thinks maybe someone lived here or perhaps they were trapped. Whatever the reason, no one has visited this island before, which is why it looks so beautiful. After nightfall, they light a fire to keep warm. Sitting by the fire, Madison and CW talk about themselves. But the next morning, CW shows her true colors. Before Madison wakes up, CW leaves the island. However, Madison's story doesn't end there. From this point on, CW starts living as Madison. CW goes to Madison's house and hacks all her accounts. She changes all of Madison's photos to her own. Everywhere she goes, CW wears Madison's clothes. She even shoots vlogs and takes photos with people, living every day as Madison. Everyone believes she is Madison. Meanwhile, John becomes very worried. Even though they fought, Madison hasn't called him in days, which is unusual for her. He doesn't know that CW now has Madison's phone. CW ignores all his messages. By now, Madison is most likely dead, and CW is looking for her next target. This isn't the first time CW has done the same thing to 4 other girls before. She starts hunting for her next victim and soon finds one, a lawyer who is traveling alone in Thailand. CW finds out which hotel the lawyer is staying at, books a room in the same hotel, and observes her closely. CW befriends her and steals the keys from her bag. Just like she did with Madison, CW traps this girl too, leaving her helpless. One day, CW takes this lawyer to a big house while spending time together. In reality, the house belongs to Madison, but CW lies and says it's hers. There, they run into John because he also has keys to that house. He had come to surprise Madison. CW lies to him, saying that Madison broke up with him. John responds by saying that Madison must have said that out of anger and that the breakup isn't real. The next day, John calls Madison's phone. Using AI to mimic Madison's voice, CW replies, saying, "It's over between us. I've left the house." But John doesn't leave the house, convinced that Madison will return someday. Later, he tells the lawyer everything that happened. The lawyer then realizes that the same thing is happening to her. She tells John that she has suspicions about CW. Being a lawyer, she has come across many similar cases before. The lawyer begins observing CW closely. One day, she sends a message from Madison's ID, and the notification appears on CW's phone. Realizing that CW did something to Madison, the lawyer decides to pack her things and leave the house. But just then, CW arrives. Seeing her, the lawyer pretends as if nothing is wrong. She confronts CW, saying, "You did to Madison exactly what you did to me. John told me everything. I'm not naive. If you mess with me, my father will find you and kill you, no matter where you hide." But CW doesn't let her go so easily. She takes off her heel and stabs the lawyer in the throat, killing her. This makes the lawyer the 5th victim of CW. Hearing the noise, John arrives, but by the time he gets there, CW has cleaned up all the evidence, so John suspects nothing. After John leaves, CW follows him, intending to kill him too. But just then, she gets a notification on her phone. John has posted a photo with the lawyer and tagged Madison. This is a big problem for CW because she doesn't want anyone to see her face. Her first priority now is to delete that photo, which is on John's phone. The next day, CW tells John that the lawyer went back to her home. During this time, CW posts a photo of Madison with another guy, but John doesn't realize that CW is the one who uploaded it. He feels very sad, thinking that Madison doesn't want to be with him anymore. Seeing John's sadness, CW gives him fake hope. Later, John notices that Madison's photos are of low quality and her follower count is dropping. That night, CW takes him to a bar and secretly spikes his drink. John gets drunk and loses consciousness. Taking advantage of this, CW takes him home and deletes the photo from his phone. The next morning, when John wakes up, he decides that he can't stay there anymore and gets ready to leave. Now, no one stands in CW's way. That day, CW burns all of Madison's belongings, including her passport. Meanwhile, John gets emotional remembering his relationship with Madison. He recalls the first time he met her when she was just an ordinary girl. They both worked hard together, and that's how she became successful. Just then, John remembers the photo Madison posted in the morning with another guy. In the photo, there is a hotel, so John goes there. He finds out that Madison has never been to that hotel before. There, he sees the old man who had bothered Madison earlier. The old man looks at Madison's photo on John's wallpaper, recalling the insult he faced. They start talking, and John realizes that the last photo Madison posted was fake. The old man then talks about the day he last saw Madison, mentioning that she left with CW. Hearing this, John begins his research. When he removes the filter from Madison's face in the photo, he realizes that the person behind her face is none other than CW. He immediately goes to CW's house and waits for her. As soon as she arrives, he attacks her from behind, knocking her unconscious. He then ties her to a chair. When CW regains consciousness, John asks her about Madison, but she refuses to say anything. He threatens to call the police, but CW twists the situation, blaming him instead. "The last message Madison sent was to you. The police will suspect you. Despite this, John forces her to take him to the boat, demanding that she lead him to Madison. She agrees, but once they reach the boat, she pushes him into the water. She then drowns him, ensuring he can't breathe, ultimately killing him. CW is revealed to be a serial killer. She returns home and posts from Madison's account, claiming, "My friend John attacked me and stole all my money." She does this to make sure no one finds out about his death. She even wears the ring that John had bought for Madison. The next day, CW notices that all of Madison's fans are supporting her. But the story isn't over yet. One last task remains. A few days later, CW goes back to the island to erase any evidence left behind. When she arrives, she sees fish being cooked and a tent nearby. To her shock, Madison is still alive. CW is stunned. She then heads into the forest to find Madison. Suddenly, Madison attacks her from behind, hitting her hard on the head. Without wasting any time, Madison runs to the boat, only to find John's dead body there. She is devastated but realizes she must save herself and leaves the island. However, CW isn't dead. When she regains consciousness, she watches Madison escaping and starts laughing. Instead of being scared or defeated, CW laughs maniacally as Madison sails away. Thank you for watching our movie recap. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more great content. Your support means a lot to us. Have a wonderful day.